All right, hi, we're gonna do chair yoga class today. So chair yoga is gentle, but not easy. So it's not just for people who are a little more restricted in their movement. It can be challenging for even, young people like my lovely Cali here. Kaylee, my wonderful teenage daughter, who is also a yoga teacher, is here to help me today. She is certified in kids yoga and she teaches booty and she's here to help.
I am certified in booty. I don't just teach certified.
Okay, she's certified too. And she's a teenager. Take your socks off.
Exposing my feet.
All right, so for chair yoga, I do recommend taking your socks off just so that you can see your feet. Lots of feedback for your feet, and your brain needs to see what your toes are doing. We are gonna do a little face yoga today, so please, please, please wash your hands. Stop the video, wash your hands, make sure they're very clean. We are going to do a little bit of touching our face. So let's get started. So start by finding a chair that's comfortable, that you can have your feet on the ground. So get your feet on the ground, feel them on the ground, feel really adjusted and well comfortable in your chair. Take a few breaths just to kind of land in your chair. Start to feel your body in your chair. Maybe even close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just follow my voice for a few breaths. So perhaps taking a little wiggle of the shoulders, just feeling the shoulders, feeling how they're feeling today, seeing where the tension is. And maybe pick up your hands and just let them drop in your lap wherever's comfortable. Trying to soften your hands. Think about the tension in your hands, loosen your hands. And just starting to tune into your breath. How is your breath today? How is your mind today? Whenever we ask questions, try not to get caught up in a right or wrong answer or judging yourself for whatever comes up. Just notice, ask yourself compassionately how you're doing. And you can leave your hands where they are if you like. Just bring them right underneath the rib cage to just kind of connect with this space. Start to feel the warmth of your hands in this space as you breathe. Perhaps reminding you to soften this space and let your breath come in a little more fully. Let your breath land in your body. And then for our breathing practice today, we're going to practice 4 corners breath. So bringing your awareness to the lower parts of your lungs, just with your intention, not with muscular force. Start to bring your breath all the way down into the bottom corners of your lungs. Feeling your stomach gently rise and fall with your breath. And then bring your awareness to the rib cage, the sides of your rib cage. And imagine your breath gently pushing between each rib, filling up the sides of your lungs with your breath. Now bring your awareness to your back and fill up the back corners of your lungs. So imagine your breath very gently pulling into every little crevice in the back of your lungs. If you were laying on the ground right now, you can imagine you lifting off the ground by filling up your lungs. And then finally bring your awareness to just underneath your collarbones, right on your chest, and fill up the upper corners of your lungs. Watching your chest rise and fall with your breath. And then let all thought of your breath go and land in that very center point of the mind. So if you could land just above the tailbone, right behind the eyes. And rest here for a moment, allowing space for whatever is present here. Knowing that the mind wanders. Noticing that you can notice your thoughts. And then perhaps noticing a little space in between the thoughts. And then let that go and gently float open the eyes if you closed your eyes. Bring your attention to your feet and just give your feet some wiggles, toes some wiggles. Feeling the toes. Bring the hands out and give the fingers soft, gentle, slow wiggles. Looking at your hands. And then we're going to take some breath movement. So move and breathe, thinking about this being a mind-body connection. So inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lower. Starting to move with our breath, inhaling up. Exhaling down. And yoga is a practice of constantly tuning in and reflecting in. So as we move and breathe, noticing any compensation patterns, checking in on the lower back, noticing if we start to tense the neck or the face or anywhere around the shoulders or the rib cage as we move and breathe. And then bring the arms down. We're going to take our moving and breathing through our neck. So inhale, chin center. Exhale, turning the chin to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the other side. Moving nice and slowly with your breath, as if your breath could oil the vertebrae in your neck. Tuning in to any natural stopping points and holding patterns. Connecting with where your body's at and how it feels. And then bring the head back to center, and we'll take this movement a little bigger. Moving from the rib cage up, bring your arms out, squeezing the core in. Inhale is center, exhale twist. Inhale back through center, exhale twist. So now really thinking about these core muscles, giving them a little squeeze, drawing your stomach towards your spine, but really noticing if you're starting to compete with yourself and maybe push down into a foot or a hip. And just kind of ask yourself why that is. Just notice. Bring it all the way over to the right and hold it, squeezing those muscles tight towards the spine. Slowly bring your body back through center and all the way over to the left. Squeeze and hold. And then back through center. Bring the arms down. Take some nice soft shoulder rolls as slow as you can. Slow it down. Feeling every point of your shoulder. Bring them slow forward, all the way up to the ears, all the way back and around. Feeling every point of the circle. And then bring them all the way forward, and then all the way up to the ears. Bring them backwards and squeeze and hold. Squeeze them down. Squeeze them down a little more. And then let go. Loosen and soften. And take a little shoulder exercise for undoing holding patterns. So take your arms out, palms up. Start to look at your right hand. So we're going to turn this right hand. So turn and look at the right hand and turn the right hand. We're really thinking about the shoulders. So turn the right hand as far backwards as it goes. We're thinking about moving that shoulder backwards. And then we're going to flip like a corkscrew. So roll the hand around and look at the other one. So now you're looking at the left is flipping backwards, the shoulder is turning, and then the right shoulder is over. So start to take this a couple of times. It'll take a second for you to just get the hang of the movement. And then go nice and slow as you can. Just kind of thinking of undoing all the holding patterns in your shoulders. Some of this movement is kind of opposite to our day-to-day life. Breathing nice and slow.
My arm is dropping over too.
Okay. So once you get the hang of it, you kind of just move through what feels good. Try not to be exact science, precise movement, but just trying to feel your own body patterns. And then bring that down, roll your shoulders. What'd I say? It's simple, but it's not easy. Bring your hands to prayer in front of you. So connect with pushing your fingers into each other. Look at your hands. And we're gonna peel the little fingers away from each other while pushing the other ones tight. Bring them back together, peel the ring fingers away, bring them back together, peel the middle fingers away, bring them back together. The next one's looking at your hand while you do it, and then thumbs. And then start to make a little pattern. So start with ring finger, pinky finger, little finger, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. Thumbs, go back the other way and see how long it takes you to make a mistake in your little pattern. Looking at your fingers, just playing. Whoop, I made a mistake already. Kaylee's concentrating earlier. Then bring your fingers, interlace your fingers. So interlacing fingers, pull them, lock them and pull them apart. So now you should feel your chest and your arms fire up a little. And then just take some little movements here. Just feeling your chest, feeling your arms. And bring that down. Little wiggles to reset. Press your feet down onto the ground. So you're going to press the balls of your feet onto the ground. Lift the toes. So try and press down so you're starting to feel the legs fire up. Nice and strong. Lift the toes. Pull them up off the ground. See if you can separate the toes. Make them wide. Use the muscles in your feet. This should feel like hard work. Spread them wider. And then bring all the toes down nice and slow. So try and get them nice and wide on the ground. Press into the ball of your feet and then only lift the big toes. So you're going to need to look at your feet until you get the hang of this. Lift the big toe, pull it up tight. Maybe you can start to feel the muscles on the inside of the foot, maybe even all the way up to the inside of the knee. Pull, 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 pull. Why are you looking at me like that? Press your big toe down and then pull all the other toes up. Big toes down, other toes up. Pull them up higher, 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 higher. Press the ball of your foot down. Maybe you can feel this on the other side of your leg.
My left pinky won't come up.
So looking at your toes, giving feedback to your brain of which muscles you're using. And bring that down. Separate your toes wide, wide, wide. See if you can feel some muscles in your feet. Press down into the balls of your feet and then feel like you're pulling up from the arch of your feet. See if you can find some muscles in your feet. And then we're going to take our right foot to a hover. So leaning back just a little bit with a little bit of engagement in the stomach, you can hold on to the chair. Lift this right leg to a hover. So this top of the right leg should be nice and strong. Hold it here, hang out here, and I'll just talk for a while. So this should start to feel a little more tired as we sit here longer. We're going to take a really small movement. So we're going to bring that knee up and down, little movement. So this is my arm moving in space. This is my arm when I use my muscles. So starting to use your muscles in your body, not just throwing your limb around in space. Make this hard, squeeze some muscles. Are you cramping? So it's hard, it should be hard. And then we're gonna bring it in and out. So now we're gonna start to use the inner thigh a little too. Squeeze, 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 nice and slow. Breathe, don't hold your breath. I don't think Kaylee's holding her breath. I can't hear any breathing. And then bring that down and just kind of wiggle your legs out. Let everything kind of wiggle and reset. And you can even take your palm of your hand and take little circles on this thigh. Bring some circulation here. And feel left and right, because we only did one side, so they should feel different. Check in, see how it feels, get some feedback. And then we're gonna set up, so a little squeeze in this lower core, lift and hover the left, hang out for a bit. Find some more muscles to fire up. If you pull the toes back towards you, you're gonna find muscles in the foot. So make it as active as you can. Find some more muscles. Squeeze around the knees, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the lower core. Get a little taller in the spine. I can talk forever. And then we're gonna bring this knee, little tiny movements up and down, small movements, breathing. So as you start to challenge yourself and find this muscle isolation, always checking back in with your breath, making sure that you're not holding your breath as you get more and more challenged. And then we're going to bring it into center and out just a little bit. This is a small movement, finding more muscles to squeeze and engage. Bring that down. And take some wiggles. Tap your feet, little wiggles. Let the feet move. And then take some circles on that thigh. We'll go back to the shoulders. So take a deep inhale. Come all the way up with the arms. And then we're going to grab like we're pulling onto a rope and pull the elbows down behind us as we exhale. So inhale up. Exhale, pull down. Find some muscles behind the shoulders to pull and squeeze. See if you can find those ones in your middle back. Breathing, inhale up, exhale, pulling it down. And then bring it all the way down. Squeeze in. We're going to bring the palms up to the ceiling. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And then we're going to pull in. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, push away. Trying to find the muscles across the front of the shoulders. Muscles in the arms, the muscles behind the shoulder blades. Squeeze. Find some more strength. And bring that down. And take some wiggles with the arms. Take some flicks. Gentle let goes. Clean. Like your spring glitter. And then we're going to work on the hands.
I said we're disciplined.
We're going to work on the hands. So bring the hands so palms are towards the ceiling. Looking at your arms for feedback. So we're going to bring our hands, palms to the ceiling. Bring the fingertips down towards the ground. We're going to make very, very slow circle. So this is not throwing our hands in circles. Slow circles with muscle engagement. Your arm is going to want to do all the work. I want you to try and freeze the arm. So working really slow. Take your hands, fingertips towards each other, all the way around in a big, slow circle. My arms are already cheating the movement. Trying hard to keep this in your hands. Nice and strong. You might feel some little crunchies. You might feel some weak muscles. And then reverse your circle direction. Try to keep the arms still, moving through the wrists, making space in the wrists. I'm not sure what Kaylee's doing over there. All right, bring the hands down, all the way down to the ground, and then we're gonna pull them in towards each other. So this should feel kind of like not very strong. The muscles here are usually pretty weak. So then we're gonna pull them in and out, nice and slow. Almost like we're making a little U shape with our fingers. Trying not to cheat it with your arms like I just did. And then let that go. We're gonna do claw hands. So hands up and then all the way over, claw over, nice and slow. All the way up, extend, jazz hands, all the way down. My teenage daughter is extremely mortified. I used to dance jazz hands. Jazz hands. She's like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? All right. So then let your hands just wiggle, feel your arms, feel your hands. We're gonna take circles with the lower arms, and just nice slow circles, making some space, elbows down.
I was completely circled just my whole arm.
So trying to make this from the elbow down. Trying to lock the upper arm a little bit. And then let that go. You're gonna go back to the feet. So getting nice and strong with this left leg, bring it to a hover. We're gonna pull the foot up towards us. And then we're gonna push the foot down. So pulling up, find some muscles in the feet. So pull the toes towards the shin and then push down, still pulling the toes up, pushing down with the ball of the foot, up and down. And then push down and then bring the side of the foot up to the center. So the whole foot, active and strong, bringing it round as much as you can. Take a U shape and bring the other side of your foot up. Outside edge of your foot up toward the ceiling, hold. Round again, up, round again, hold. And then bring it down. Follow the foot pushes towards the ground, toes pull up, leg is strong, take the right ankle towards the right, it won't go very far. So you should feel the outer hip fire up here. Now we're gonna take little small pulses, slow and controlled. Outer hip, outer knee, outer heel, everything kind of fired up and strong. Maybe your thighs even burning. Bring that down and wiggle it out, reset. And then left leg. So bring that left leg up. Hover. And then push the ball of the foot down. Toes are still pulling back, nice and active and strong. All the way back, pulling the whole foot back towards the shin. Push down. Back. Push down, and then pull the inside edge of the foot up. Feel the muscles on the feet. You're looking for muscles in the foot. And then pull it all the way around in a big U shape, bring the outside edge of the foot up. Down and around, inside edge up, down and around, outside edge up. And then bring it to a hover, leg is strong, whole leg is strong. Take the left heel out towards the left. Now, maybe feeling it in the hip and around the knee and the ankle. Little pulses in and out, nice and slow and controlled. And bring that down and reset the leg. We're gonna come up behind our chair, so we're just gonna move around a little. So you're gonna bring your chair so that you can stand behind it. We're gonna come to the points where you can see us. So hopefully you can see us. All right, so first just finding your body a little bit behind your chair. Slide your feet back a little bit so you can lean into the chair. You're gonna bend your knees, holding onto the chair. So pulling your stomach in just to keep you nice and strong and balanced. We're gonna move through the legs. So bending the knees and then coming on up. So take an inhale first, exhale as you lower. Inhale as you come up. Inhale, exhale as you come down. Inhale as you come up. Finding your breath. And finding the backs of your legs. So the more that you push down into the ground and pull your muscles up, the more active your legs start to become. And then come on up, slide the left foot a little bit closer to the chair, land on it. We're going to take the right foot back a little. So just land it where it's comfortable on the ball of the foot. Keeping that little squeeze to help you with your balance, hold on to the chair. We're gonna lower the heel towards the ground on the right foot and then up. So now you're finding the back of the right leg. Leg is strong and active. Finding all the muscles you can to squeeze. And then come on up, land so that you're strong on the left leg. Holding the chair, bring that right leg to a hover, flexed leg. So the back of the leg is really, really, really tight. Flexed foot, we're gonna bring it up. Small movement, little hover, little pulses up. And then we're gonna bring the knee in towards the chest. We're gonna take the knee in a circle. So squeezing the leg and around the hip. Take the knee in a very slow circle. Feeling the hip. You can keep a bend on that left leg. Finding some movement in the hip, nice and slow. And then bring the knee in towards center, towards the chair. Take it out to the right, flex the foot, hover, and you're looking for the top of the right hip here to be strong. Take the knee a little more to the ceiling and then pulse it up. Who said chair yoga was easy? And then bring that down and pedal out your feet. Give them a little tap. And then same thing with the other leg. So send the left leg back. Land the ball of the foot. Nice bend in this right leg. And then we're going to pulse the heel up and down, feeling the back of the leg. Nice and slow and controlled. Press into the ball of the foot. Make the muscles strong and active. And then put your weight onto the right leg. Squeeze the stomach, lift and hover the left. Flex the foot, strong glute, strong leg, little pulses of the heel to the ceiling. And then bring that knee in towards the chest. Strong in the hips, strong in the leg. Take the knee in a big circle. Nice and slow.
I think I just popped my second back in place.
And bring the knee in towards the chair. Take it out towards the left. Flex the foot. Lift this left knee up to the ceiling. Little pulses. Really?
It's so weak.
And then bring that down, tap it out. Little taps of the leg. We're going to take our feet a little bit wider than the chair. If you don't have a yoga mat, you don't need a yoga mat for this, whatever works for you, for your surface. But you're going to be a little bit wider than your chair legs. So land here. So try and get your feet, the sensation of your feet pushing down into the ground. And then imagine you're pulling them apart. So now you're looking to fire up the outsides of your legs. They should be nice and strong. Nice and strong here. Holding onto your chair, lean a little bit forward. Really strong legs. Move left and right. So a little bend in the right leg and then back through center and a little bend in the left. But really strong. We're not just moving left and right. We're really slowing and controlled using the muscles, feeling like we're pulling our feet away from each other. Slow and controlled, and not thinking about our hair.
Piece of hair was itching my face.
Nice, slow, even breath. Using these muscles, these stabilizer muscles, the ones that protect us when we trip. And then bring it back, feet back to about underneath the hips, tap it out. We're gonna lean a little bit further away from the chair and take our feet wide again. This time we're gonna turn our toes out a little bit. So landing here, getting strong in the legs. So pushing your feet down into the ground and then pulling up with the muscles. So getting nice and strong, and we're gonna move and breathe here. So take a deep inhale with the exhale, squeeze your hips down. It doesn't matter how far you come, just until the legs are active, and then up. So you're inhaling, exhaling as you come down, inhaling as you come up. Make your legs strong as you can. Find some more muscles, maybe even starting to use the core. And then bring it back in, tap it out, let it go. Take your left foot pretty close to the chair, holding on to the chair. Take the right foot back, wherever is comfortable for your hip, for your knee, for your foot. Just find a place to rest that right foot down, looking at the chair, holding on with your left. We're gonna bring the right arm up, and we're gonna take a giant circle with this right arm. So nice, big, soft circle. And you can move a little into this front leg, so a little bend, up and down. Take your right arm forward. We're gonna reach and pull. So pulling back, inhale, pull back like you're really pulling something. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, draw it back, arm tight, arm strong. Exhale, push it away. Bring it back to center. Step that right foot in, and we're gonna turn the left hip to the chair, holding onto the chair with the left hand. We're gonna start to bring the weight onto the right leg. Bring the left leg out in front of you, you can bend it a little. We're gonna start to use outside hip. So taking that right heel over and back to center. Over and outside and back to center. So keeping this movement from the hip down, not shrinking the gap between the rib cage and the hip and making this movement from up here, but from the hip down in the leg, in the hip.
Left and rights are all over the place, by the way.
They always are. People will figure it out. And then we're gonna go on to our tree pose. So, options for tree pose. You can bring the ball of the foot onto the ground and rest the heel just above the ankle. You can also bring that foot right onto the shin. You place it onto the shin, push the shin into the foot and the foot into the shin, little counter pressure. Get really strong in your lower core, find your balance here. Maybe feeling some wiggles in the foot, And maybe you can even lift this right branch all the way up. Breathe. And hold. Practice your balance. Get a little taller in the spine. Breathe. Touch your foot. And bring that down slowly. Bring the right foot down and pedal it out. Go back to facing your chair. Our right leg stays forward, left leg goes back to wherever is comfortable. Find that place where your hips and knees are comfortable. You're steady and stable. Holding onto the chair with your right hand. Left arm is going to make a giant slow circle. And then take this left arm forward. We're going to reach and pull. So drawing back with your inhale, pushing back with your exhale. Bring it back. We're going to step in. We're going to turn our chairs around. This time we're going to have our right hip towards the chair, holding on with your right hand. Get really strong in the right leg. Maybe even a little bend so you're not locking into the knee. Strong in the leg. We're going to bring the left leg forward, strong in the left leg. And without closing the gap between the rib cage and the hip, lifting this left heel outside and inside. Nice and strong in the left. And then we're going to go on to our tree. So bringing that left foot either heel just above the ankle or press it in onto the shin. Try and do this with your knee forward, not pulling your hip out, but keeping your hips even. Bringing a little strength into that lower core. Press the foot into the shin into the foot. And then get really tall. Lift your branch. Feeling all the little micro adjustments that happen as you try to balance. And then bring that down and pedal it out. And then we're going to come to the seated position. We're going to come back to our chairs. Alright, so all the hard work is done. Going back to our chairs. Starting to get comfortable in your chair. Just taking little wiggles of the shoulders, kind of seeing where you're at, noticing any differences from when we started. Starting to feel the tension in your neck, just taking a turn of the chin all the way to the right shoulder. Just notice. All the way to the left. And bring it back to center and just send the ear, right ear, over towards the shoulder, feeling the left side of the neck. And back to center, and the left ear to left shoulder. back to center. A little wiggles and shuffles with the shoulders, and we're gonna move on to our face yoga. Again, please make sure you wash your hands. So we're gonna take 2 fingers, and we're gonna place them right at the corner of our mouth. Little circles here. And then 2 fingers right where upper and lower jaw meet, little circles here. And then take your index finger and your thumb, make little pinchy fingers, and then run them along the lower jawbone all the way up to the ear. Take little taps just underneath your collarbone, just finger taps on your chest underneath your collarbone, just feeling connection here. And then you're going to take 2 fingers and you're either very gently going to stroke the lower bone underneath the eye, or you're going to take little tiny taps across that bone. See which one feels better. So little strokes, soft, or little tiny soft taps, just following the bone underneath the eye, cheekbone. And then 2 circles, 2 fingers, little circles at the corners of the eyes, very gentle. Take your index fingers, and then right at kind of the corner of your eyebrow, there's a little pressure point. Press up and backwards lightly, just kind of feeling all the muscles around your eyes. And then 2 fingers, you're going to run them from between the eyes to the hairline, strokes. Feeling the forehead. And then bring your hands so fingertips touch and let them drop in your lap. Kind of settle in and close your eyes for a moment. Find your breath. Just notice any changes in sensation in the face. Checking in. And then we're going to finish up with a little breath pattern and a little meditation. So our first breath pattern is a little complicated at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy. So just teaching you the arms. The arms come out, and you can take your right arm to your left shoulder and turn your chin to the right shoulder. Open back out, switch. Left hand comes to right shoulder, chin turns to left. So just opening, turning, opening, turning, and then we're going to start to add the breath in. So take an inhale as they're open, exhale, turn, inhale, open the hands up, exhale, turn and tap. down and give your shoulders a little reset. Come to a very comfortable seat in your chair. So however you're really comfortable, let your back soften a little, your shoulders soften a little, your face soften. You can choose to do things with your hands. So there are things that you can do, mudras. You bring index finger and thumb to touch and let them drop in your hand. You can just bring your fingertips to drop and let them touch and let them drop in your lap. Or you can just let your hands be however they're comfortable. We're going to bring our eyes closed and go right to that very center point of our mind. So landing as if we could gently fall back from our eyesight and land in the center of our brain. And rather than thinking that meditation is about emptying the mind, we're going to think about meditation as being getting to know ourselves. So when we come here, you might notice that our thoughts are racing. Perhaps you're noticing some parts in your body. Perhaps you're thinking about the to-do list or things that you might be worried about. And just start to notice. Our mind is a constantly firing network. And we can just start to observe the firing of it, almost as if we could fall gently underneath that layer and look back up and watch it do what it does. Learning to be less and less affected by the constantly moving waves of our brain. And today, for our visual part of our meditation, we're going to imagine an ocean scene. It can be somewhere that you have been or somewhere that you've seen in a picture that you thought was particularly beautiful. Just make it somewhere that you can easily visualize. Bring it to mind and paint in the details vividly. For as far as the eye can see, and calm, rolling blue waves. The sky is a deep, calming blue. And you can begin to imagine the smell of salt air or a soft breeze touching your skin. Connect with the deep, calming blue color of the ocean. Deep, calming blue of the sky, perhaps seeing little fluffy clouds. And as a thought or distraction comes in, imagine attaching it to a cloud, watching it gently float away, far, far away. As you remain here with this beautiful ocean scene, and the longer you sit with the ocean scene, the more this deep, calming blue washes through you. As if the rolling of the waves could gently sweep away any tension. Take another look around as if sealing in this beautiful scene. And then bringing our hands to prayer at our heart space. Connecting with this gesture. As if bringing our left and right sides to meet in front of our hearts. As if accepting ourselves as whole and complete, precisely as we are. Imagine wrapping yourself in a little unconditional love. May we know love, light, and connection. Thank you so much for coming out, sharing space with me today.